Kyra had just turned 18. Her parents often travel abroad, so she lives alone in a big house. Only literature keeps her from getting bored. She has one dream: to be loved. And today, something new is about to happen in her life. She'll meet someone just like her, a writer and teacher named Jonathan. He found inspiration in this remote town. Kyra is always the first to arrive at class. This surprises Jonathan, and he asks where she lives. They start sharing their lives with each other. Jonathan is amazed that Kyra has read the entire curriculum. She jokingly replies that she likes it rough. Then Vinny walks in and pulls her friend aside for a chat. While they're gone, Jonathan browses through Kyra's books. He gets interrupted by Boris. Boris immediately realizes Jonathan is reading one of Kyra's books because the story is too vulgar for a guy to be reading. Coincidentally, Kyra loves reading a book written by Jonathan himself. He lives with his wife, Beatrice, who's also a writer. He tells her that one of his students is reading his book. They begin to dance together but are interrupted by a call from Emmy. A new day begins. The teachers sit on a bench, sipping coffee. Boris wonders if ghosts live in the forest. A second later, Kyra emerges from the trees and approaches the teachers. Boris offers her a cookie, and Jonathan can't take his eyes off her. Later, Vinny tries to get Boris's attention. She openly admits she's interested in him. Kyra calls her crazy. After class, the friends hang out together. Kyra confesses she's struggling to come up with a new topic for her book. Vinny suggests living through an experience that could inspire one, like drama with a teacher. The problem is, neither of them has ever been in a real relationship. Vinny wants her first date to be with Boris. Kyra also needs to realize that Mr. Jonathan looks at her in a special way, but Kyra denies it. She spends the rest of the day reading Jonathan's book, and during class, they can't take their eyes off each other. Jonathan asks her to stay after class, and all Kyra can think about is having all his attention. Later, Jonathan starts dancing alone again, but gets distracted by Kyra. She promises not to tell anyone about his hobby. Jonathan invites her to a poetry club. Maybe something there will surprise her. He's read her latest work and really liked it. Kyra blushes and explains what her story was about. Jonathan wants her to write a story in the style of her favorite author. Kyra accepts the challenge and says she's read his book entirely. Then, she quotes the lines she'd liked the most. Jonathan is left speechless. Kyra breaks the silence and apologizes, just as Vinny walks into the room, ending their conversation. Later, the teachers and Beatrice go to a cafe where Vinny works. Boris jokes around with her, and Beatrice asks how beautiful the girl is who read his book. He says she's very smart and unique. Beatrice then declares that Jonathan is no longer a writer. He chose to become a teacher and hasn't written anything new since. The next day, Kyra visits the writing club. She feels it's going to be an important day for her. Jonathan is happy to see her. A boy steps up to the stage to read his work. Jonathan listens carefully, but Kyra only has eyes for him. The next day, she brings coffee for the teachers. Boris shares his cookies. Kyra doesn't understand how Boris makes them so good, but she doesn't say a word. He could sell them. Vinny could design the logo. That day, the girls visit Jonathan. He mentions that he's going on vacation with his wife. Vinny notices the chemistry between Jonathan and Kyra. After the teachers leave, she tells Kyra to make the first move and seduce him. Their conversation is interrupted by Boris. He's decided to sell cookies. Vinny quickly joins the plan. All she needs is his number. Later, Kyra calls Jonathan. He promises to stop by before he leaves. Kyra reflects that true love is quiet and inevitable. A few hours later, Jonathan arrives at her house. Kyra steps outside wearing a white dress. All Jonathan can do is stand and watch as she walks toward him. Kyra stops and asks him to come closer. He stays still, so she takes the first step and kisses him. When he returns home, Kyra keeps sending him messages. The notifications annoy Beatrice. Jonathan escapes to the shed where he reads Kyra's new book. He gets so absorbed that he starts imagining the stories about the two of them. Unable to resist, he does something shameful. The next day, Kyra notices Jonathan acting strange. She asks what's wrong. He tells her she should find a new favorite author. She reminds him that he asked her to write about what she knows. Jonathan asks if she really knows it. Kyra says, "It's us." Seeing how overwhelmed he is, Kyra explains that the story is about two similar people who reject social norms. Jonathan still believes the book is too mature. Kyra insists he's just afraid. They're no longer strangers. Jonathan tries to explain that she's a student, and he's her teacher. Kyra still wants him to admit that her story was good. But Jonathan can't bring himself to do it. She calls him overblown and unambitious. He could be so much more, but right now he's just irresponsible. Before leaving, she places her story in the administration box. Later, the girls meet again. Vinny asks if she likes Jonathan. Kyra compares him to gas station sushi. Fake, but she still loves him. Meanwhile, Beatrice finds out it was one of his students who wrote the story. Jonathan doesn't admit who it was. Eventually, Beatrice convinces him to tell her about the story. Kyra encourages Vinny to text Boris. She does. He ends up visiting Jonathan's house. Beatrice sees him texting but doesn't know who it's with. As the conversation shifts, Boris hides his phone. Then Jonathan gets a call from the school administration. He's accused of inappropriate behavior with Kyra, but he denies everything. He realizes that if she proves anything happened, he could lose his job. Beatrice adds that he could lose even more and urges him to tell the truth. Jonathan swears nothing happened. The next day, Kyra skips school. Vinny looks lost and tries to guilt trip Jonathan, but he stays cold. Later, Kyra meets with the principal and tells her version of the story. Jonathan has to defend himself. Luckily for him, their stories match. When asked the final question, Kyra replies that nothing happened she didn't want. Jonathan doesn't know what she said, and that uncertainty unsettles him. At recess, Boris realizes Jonathan is in love with Kyra. Jonathan can't see the line he shouldn't cross, and that's what got him in trouble. Back home, Beatrice starts asking questions. She doesn't believe his lies. Jonathan can't deny that something sparked between him and Kyra. That was the last straw. Beatrice plans to file for divorce. Vinny visits Kyra and begs her not to ruin Jonathan's life just for revenge, because he rejected her. Vinny says she'll defend Jonathan and claim Kyra is lying. Kyra coldly replies that she won't, because she has dirt on both Vinny and Boris. When Kyra finishes writing her book about her and Jonathan, the movie ends. Thanks for watching.